Hey, everybody, it's your girl Monet Fox. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Got a really interesting conversation that I want to have today. My first question, I guess, is how do you deal with disappointment? It's a real tricky thing, because disappointment can stifle you, it can stop you in your whole situation. It can really make you stop and pause and not want to continue in whatever it is that you're doing. Hey, Timmy, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Being disappointed is something that I feel like is superhuman. It's something that we all go through, but it's how we kind of deal with it, how we cope with it, what our strategy for recovery really is, or even if we have a strategy for recovery. I think that those are really important things to really pay attention to. And so for me, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because something that happened to me just recently. I've been in school since October, was planning to take an exam on May 1st, and found out last week that my exam, the testing center where the exam was being held, is now closed due to the COVID-19 outbreak. So I was super disappointed. There haven't been a lot of things in my life that I feel like I've actually gotten through. There's a lot of things that I start, but not so many things that I've gotten through. So I was super excited to get done and finished with this, to complete the course, to complete the testing, and really move forward in my own personal goals and things like that. And so now it's not going to happen. And unfortunately, unless they do something online or create some other sort of strategy to get people tested sooner, I can't even think about testing again until August. So super disappointing for me. I have a couple of people that I spoke to about it. My aunt, one, who is on this right now, and a couple of other friends that I spoke to about how I was feeling about it. And what I want to say to you guys listening out there is, disappointment is something I think that comes with the territory. It is an obstacle that we have to overcome, just like anything else in life. It is a severe challenge in certain ways, but I do not feel like it's something that we should allow to cripple us or even make us stop from accomplishing our goals. And so for me, what I did was first I prayed about it. First I got emotional, but then I prayed. I thought that it was really important to pray about it and really talk it through and see why this was happening, because I do believe that things all kind of happen for a reason. They happen, and everything happens in its own due time. And so for me, I had to really think and process why this was happening to me. I had studied, like I said, for so long, about 7 months now. I was so ready to be done with it. And there were so many other things that I had going on. One is these lives that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks are leading up to the launch of my podcast, which is Engage, Motivate, and Elevate with Monet Fox. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to also be a webcast that I'm streaming through YouTube. So I'm super excited about that. And I had that kind of in the back of my brain as something that I also needed to start putting into action and really implementing a strong format and getting guests lined up so that the show can be pretty fluid and continuous. And so that was one thing that I was giving myself as an extra thing on my plate. And then the other thing was I was also taking a separate class from the class that I wanted to do, that I was almost going to be done with in May, to help with my business coaching and also to help with my personal development coaching as well. And so I had a lot of other things that were on my plate that I had going on, and it was really difficult for me to kind of balance all those things and really figure out the right strategy, the right way to get things done, or even prioritizing things. And so it turned out to really be a blessing for me. It didn't burden me as much as I thought it was going to, because once I started thinking about the other things that I had to get done, I said, this is actually a good time for me to really focus in on the things that I have going on that were kind of a distraction or just something else that I had on my plate. Really helped me to streamline and focus in on one thing at a time, which I always encourage but never do. I don't even follow that own advice myself. It's really difficult for me to do that. But it helped me, by getting that canceled. It kind of helped me say, okay, well, now you have no choice. You have to focus on this one thing now and get that really moving and rolling so that the other things can happen in its own due time. And so my encouragement to you all is that regroup. When you start to feel disappointed by something that hasn't worked out for you, and I'm sure that many people, especially now during this crisis that the whole world is in, have experienced many things that they weren't able to accomplish, they weren't able to complete, they weren't able to follow through on, they weren't able to get done, and this is the time to really pay attention to, well, why am I not able to do that specific thing? And it's easy to say, oh, Corona, but there are also things that we can be doing aside from those things that we initially had planned. Because when you have a goal and you're working through that plan, sometimes the plan will change. What the most important thing is that the goal doesn't change, though. You want to stay focused on accomplishing your goal, but sometimes a different path gets created for you. The universe, God, can create a different path for you and say, well, listen, let's accomplish this first, so that when you are ready to get to that thing, the time will be right. You'll be in a better position. You'll have more knowledge around the situation. Maybe you'll have more support around the situation that you want to currently be doing. So I think that just maintaining a positive attitude is really important. Talking to your support systems or whatever supports you have in place to really help you to work through what those consequences really look like, and where you can really focus your immediate attention on, so that you don't get disappointed and just stop in whatever you are trying to accomplish in your life. And so, like I said, for me, it was really important that I prayed about it and paid attention to the other things that I needed to focus on. So that's what I'm doing now. We're going to launch the podcast next week, Saturday. We have a awesome woman. She is a health and wellness professional, certified social worker, Vanessa Santos. You'll start seeing ads for her. It's going to be on YouTube. Again, Engage, Motivate, and Elevate with Monet Fox. It's also going to be on Instagram and Facebook, and a couple of other podcast sites as well that I don't want to say it wrong. So I'll definitely post it when I get all that information together. But there's going to be plenty of ways for you to take a look at that, and it's going to be super exciting because I'll actually get to talk to somebody else. Monologuing is not the easiest thing, man. I will tell you that. So if you are not trying to quit, you cannot fail if you do not quit. That is the most important lesson that I can give to you. You cannot and will not fail if you do not quit. So I want to encourage you all to stay focused on your goals. Even if your plan changes and disappointment comes, I'm not saying don't go through those emotions of disappointment. You definitely should feel all of those things and go through that experience, but don't allow it to stop you or stifle you in your tracks. Get back up. Understand that your goal still needs to be accomplished. It may be paused, or it may be delayed, or it may be another route to accomplish that, but do not give up on your goals. Stay focused on your ultimate goals and be flexible enough to make adjustments in your plan if that is beyond your control. Sometimes that is just what the case is, that these things come and they're beyond our control, and we still have to get things done. So just want to encourage you all to continue to stay motivated and move forward in those things. All right, this is Monet Fox, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. I know it's short and sweet this week, but I really wanted to get the information out there just to kind of motivate you now and to make you aware of the podcast that we're launching next week. Again, it's Engage, Motivate, and Elevate with Monet Fox. And next week, we're going to be talking to Vanessa Santos. So make sure you guys tune in. Thanks to everybody who's listening now. Hey, Paulette. Hey, what's up, Marv? Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate it so much, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.